You said last night your first experience of Old Trafford and the fans, it was something you'll always remember. Now you've had a chance to reflect on it and sleep on it. How do you look back?
Now I felt even more responsibility to win the next game. So that's the feeling. You feel that you don't want to disappoint the fans. You want to show better things and to win the matches.
And it was great to see Tyrell Malacia return after so long on the sidelines. What did it mean to him?
Yeah, it was really huge for him. The confidence of everybody. I think he did very well. It was more than a year without playing, and the way he behaved, so brave with the ball. I'm really happy with him.
Do you think we could see any other players come back on Sunday?
Maybe. We have to see. We have one more training, but maybe if not in the starting 11, they will be on the bench.
And it was interesting to see us finish the game with Casemiro, Mazraoui, Shaw at centre-back, obviously showing the flexibility. Does that kind of say that you're looking for players' characteristics more than their position?
Yeah, that's really clear. And they like I say all the time, they are smart and they are very good players that can adapt to a different position. And everybody knows that we have some players out and we have to adapt. And
Manuel Ugarte impressed last night. Is it useful having him here and knowing the style of football that you want to play?
Of course, but it's a style so simple that everybody is going to catch really fast. And they improved the Ipswich game to the game last night. They will improve in a lot of things, so we have to keep going, and everybody will need to play.
And Everton next. What do you know about them? Do you expect a different type of game considering the way they play?
Of course, a lot of long balls, but not just that. They can push a team and then play long balls with meaning. So, and they will fight for every ball. We have to do the same. So we have to play our game and try to be better in our game than them in their game. So it will be a very good game.
And just finally, it's the start of a very busy December. I think we've got 9 games in total. There's a plan in place about how to keep players fresh and available.
Everybody has to play, and everybody has to recover, and we are doing all that with all the staff, nutrition, all the physios. We are all together working non-stop to recover the players, to implement a new style of play, and we are ready to cope with the demands of this schedule.
So what kind of impression has Ruben made on you so far?
It's still really early to say something about too much about him, but my first impression are really good. His social skills are really good. He's on point. Everybody understands what he says directly, and that are my first impressions from him.
How often can we see you playing as a right-sided centre-half, though?
That's a question for Ruben, I think.
But is it something that you like? Is it a position you like, or would you rather be further out?
Let me say that wherever the coach needs me, I play. I think in my just 3 months here, I've played already 4 positions, so that says enough.
Well, Harry, I mean, you've had to face that before in your career as well, haven't you? I mean, you've played in the back 3. I'm sure you're going to get asked the question plenty of times now about playing in the back 3 as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've played in it a lot in my career. Obviously, I played it with England, and I generally played on the left of the back 3 there. But yeah, I think whether it's a 3, a 4, a 5, whatever you want to call it, managers bring principles, and we have to follow the principles. And sometimes I think people can get drawn into what formation and system that you're playing. And the bottom line is you've got whether you're 4 or a 5, you can play sometimes as a 3. You get people jumping out, and it all works the same. But yeah, I think the managers come in with new ideas, fresh ideas, great energy, and I think obviously the first game was tough because we wanted to go there and get the win. But I'm sure you'll see a lot of improvement from now to the end of the season.
I've already asked Noose, obviously, but what kind of impression has Ruben made on yourself now?
No, I've been really impressed. Obviously, like Noose said, it's really early, and I've been injured, so I've not been with the team on the training pitch. So it's tough to say too much, but I think in his meetings I've been really impressed with the way he speaks and the drive that he gives the team. Really demanding. It's what the team needs. And like I said, we're really looking forward to working with him and all his staff.
A couple of final things then. What's the key adjustment that you're having to make as a group now with a new man in charge?
Yeah, I think that obviously the key adjustment at the moment is probably the formation and the style of play. I think when you come from one style to another style, I think like the manager said in his interview after, I think people on the pitch are probably thinking too much of where they want to be, but at the end of the day it's a football match. Go and be better than your opponent and go and win the football match, and within that play with his principles. But I think we overthought the game against Ipswich. But I think that's natural because the boys are wanting to play the way that the new manager wants to play. But I think we've got to let it adapt with fluent rather than forcing it.
Do you look at it as a fresh start for yourself personally as well? Because it's easy for us to look at from the outside and see over a period of time that you've not had as much game time as you would like. So do you look at it differently now that a new manager's come in?
Yeah, I think every time a new manager comes in, I think, like Noosa said, it's part and parcel of football. But yeah, it's a chance to impress. It's a chance to state your claim in the starting 11. Obviously, with the old manager, I probably had a year, the first year, where I didn't play as much as I'd like. But since then, last season I played when I was available. I played. The start of this season, I was playing when I was available. I've just picked up some unfortunate injuries, and he sent me back this season. But now I'm back. I feel good. I'm ready to help the team again on the pitch, and I'm looking forward to see what this season brings.
Yeah, if we were having any doubts about the injury, we didn't see that on the dodgeball court out there.
No, definitely not. I feel good now. I'm back running. I'm back on the grass, and I'll be back available in the squads within the next couple of games for sure.
When you mentioned about that going back a couple of years and you weren't getting as much game time, did it affect confidence at that point? Did you have doubts about your time at Manchester United, or?
I always had great belief. I always believed that I belonged at this club and I could play at this level. Obviously, my first 2 years at the club was brilliant. We had a tough third year as a team and as a group, and I think it affected a lot of us. And then the fourth year, I ended up not playing as much, but I think that's part and parcel of football. I think the fourth year, the lads who was playing did really well and kept a lot of clean sheets, and you had to buy your time, and sometimes you buy your time and you wait for injuries or suspensions, and they just didn't come that year. But yeah, I found my feet again last season, playing regular when I was available, like I said, and no, I'm really looking forward to getting back on the pitch and helping the team and trying to get back up that table where this club deserves to be, and we need to prove that.
When you look at getting back up the table for both of you, I mean, what do you feel is still achievable in this season then? Yeah,
well, we're in, I think it's 3 cup competitions, so we take them serious. It's still early on in the season. We've not had a great start. You can tell with our league position. I think, yeah, for sure, there's some games where we should have got more points than what we've got. But yeah, come the end of the season, the league table doesn't lie, and we know we've got to improve. We know we've got to do more to climb that table, and I still believe that we should be fighting for the European places this season. And we'll see where we are come April time and where we're pushing.
Do you go along with that news as well? The bare minimum expected is European spots.
Yeah, of course. And I think also, if you look at it, what Harry says, the beginning of the season is not what we expected from ourselves. You see that in everything, and I think fortunately it's still achievable, because if you look at the table, I think we're still 6 points away from the Europe tickets away. So yeah, we have a big job to do, and we have to do that.
The broad question again for you both is, why do you think it hasn't quite worked this season so far?
No, I think it's a tough question. If we could pinpoint something, then we'd improve it and change it, and everyone would be happy and go and win football matches. But football's a tough game. Every game you play in the Premier League's tough, and you've got to make sure you're on it. I think ultimately this year we haven't been good enough in both boxes. We haven't scored enough goals. I think that's clear for everyone to see. We have great talent and ability in our squad, so we know that's got to come, and it will come because of the talent and ability that we do have in the old squad. But yeah, I think we've got to look forward to the future now. Obviously, we've got a new manager in, new ideas, new principles, great energy, and yeah, I think it's important as a group we all come together and we drive this club forward.
Plus, Harry, as well, you were as happy as anyone for Marcus to get the opening goal of Ruben's time here at United. Yeah,
definitely. I think Rashi will admit he's had a tough period at the start of the season, but we know Marcus's talent, and we all want him to get back to that flying Rashford that he's shown over the years for this club, and we know he's capable of scoring numerous goals, and yeah, it was great to get that first one. under the manager.
There'll be big expectation again against Everton, and you guys have got to deal with that.
Yeah, that's with the new manager or without. We have to do that for ourselves at first, for the fans, and now also with the new manager. You know, it's a new system. Everything is new, but yeah, we have to show that we are capable of doing that to get confident with everything, and then everything gets easier from there on. So. Yeah, big expectations for this home game.
Do you see that or feel that pressure as a group, Harry, as well?
Yeah, well, I must say, when you play for this club, I think it doesn't matter who the manager is in charge, or when you play at Old Trafford, there's pressure on you to go and win the game. The demands are big. The demands are go and win every game of football, and if you don't, everyone knows what happens after it. There's a big crisis, and the scrutiny comes, but that's part and parcel of playing for this club, and it's the privilege of playing for it.
4-1 on the new Manchester United manager. I think you were quite impressed with his persona, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was at his first home game, and this will be his first home Premier League game. But yeah, he's charming, he's got charisma, but what I really respected was his honesty. You know, we asked for him, like, how you feeling, because he made some big calls in his Europa League game. He played Malassi, who hadn't played for a year and a half. He played Anthony as a right wing back, and that was, you know, we're thinking, wow, Mason Mount, his only second start. So, and he said, I was anxious. And like, for a Man United manager to say, you know, I'm a bit anxious because I've only been here a couple of days, and to go and just, I believe in them, but then I've got to go and put them out there. I don't know what to expect. So when we were interviewing him, you're thinking, wow, that's bizarre kind of hearing that. But he was charming, and I think he's everything the fans will love, and I think everyone will really admire him, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what he does in the Premier League.
Yeah, something you mentioned there was asking players perhaps to play in positions that are not really familiar to him. We saw that in the opening match against Ipswich, which we've just shown. Marcus Rashford through the middle, for example, this famous back three with the wing-backs bombing forward. It worked obviously very early on. When you're being asked to change position, and I know he said afterwards, they're still thinking too much. What does it take? How long does it take?
It'll take a while of them to work with him to understand what he actually wants from them, what movement patterns, what patterns of play he wants. But I think it's important to say these lads that he's working with, they're all international footballers, of course, yeah. And they're all very, very talented football players, and they will be able to slip into different positions quite easily. I think after previous seasons, they're maybe just lacking a little bit of belief in themselves, a little bit of seasons. They're maybe just lacking a little bit of belief in themselves, a little bit of confidence. Manchester United is not the most positive place at the minute, so I think just rediscovering themselves as a football club, and that then the rest will flourish from there.
You know, as well, you mentioned you spot on with like belief and confidence, but one big thing he was kind of saying was fitness.
Yeah.
Because his sporting team, they ran, and boy did they run. And for Man United, for the way that he wants to play and the system that he wants to play, they've all got to be fit and available and absolutely up and down, no nonsense. And I think there's, against Ipswich and in the Europa game, you saw where they can get exposed. So for Everton, there are opportunities, but every game is like a school test for him. He knows who's going to be able to do it and who's not, and then you kind of move on and try the next person until he gets that group.
And in all fairness, they are the basics, aren't they? They're the bare minimum. What you expect a footballer to be is fit, athletic, and be able to do it for 90 minutes. And for him to assess that squad and say they weren't quite at that level, it's a bit of a disappointment, really, isn't it? Because, like I say, the talent's there. So once they get fit, once they learn about him, once they can understand what he wants, then I think they'll look good.
Yeah, don't ask me why I remember this, but United ran 102 kilometres over that game. That's the ground they covered. Ipswich, 108 in that encounter. Everton haven't scored in 3 matches now. That's really concerning for them.
But I feel like that has been Everton's kind of story. They've always created opportunities. I've never been fearful of that, but it's just about taking them. But again, from how Man United have played in the 2 games that the new managers come in, you will get chances and definitely get down the sides of their back three. There's vulnerabilities and they do go player for player. So if Everton can expose that and be quite physical and put the ball in the box, I'm not still quite there with trusting the back line. So there could be opportunities for Everton to get the goals.
Okay, so we are going to round up the rest of the weekend's matches now, and we're looking ahead to what is coming in match week 13, and Ipswich Town go to Nottingham Forest.
Manchester United vs Everton predicted lineup and match preview. Manchester United will aim to build on their thrilling 3-2 Europa League win over Bodo Glimt as they face Everton in a Premier League clash at Old Trafford on Sunday, kick-off at 1:30 p.m. The Red Devils, under new manager Ruben Amorim, are still seeking their first league victory under his tenure. Here's a breakdown of their recent form, tactics, and predicted lineup. Manchester United predicted lineup for Everton clash. How United have lined up under Amorim. Amorim has introduced a new tactical system, with the team transitioning to a dynamic 3-4-2-1 formation. Goalkeeper Andro Onana remains a consistent presence between the sticks. Defence: the back three typically features Nasser Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, and Lisandro Martinez. Wing-backs Amad Diallo and Anthony have alternated at right wing-back, while Diogo Dalot and Tyrell Malacia have shared duties on the left. Midfield: Casemiro and Christian Eriksen were preferred in recent domestic matches, but Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes took the reins in midfield for the midweek Europa League clash. Attacking midfield: Alejandro Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes operated behind the striker against Ipswich, while Mason Mount partnered Garnacho against Bodo Glimt. Forward Marcus Rashford featured up front against Ipswich, but Rasmus Højlund made an impressive goal-scoring return on Thursday. Manchester United recent form and tactical evolution: the Red Devils are currently 6 games unbeaten across all competitions. Under Amorim, they've adopted a more attacking, width-focused style of play, pressing higher up the pitch to disrupt opponents. Despite these positive changes, midfield balance remains an issue. The team struggled to maintain control in the centre during last weekend's match against Ipswich, highlighting an area for improvement. Injury update: in contention Johnny Evans knock and Harry Maguire calf. Unavailable Victor Lindelof groin and LNY Euro ankle, both expected to return within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Predicted starting 11 vs Everton formation: 3-4-2-1 goalkeeper Andro Onana, right centre-back Nasser Mazraoui, centre-back Matthijs de Ligt, left centre-back Lisandro Martinez, right wing back Amad Diallo, left wing-back Diogo Dalot, central midfielder Manuel Ugarte, central midfielder Christian Eriksen, right attacking midfielder Bruno Fernandes, left attacking midfielder Alejandro Garnacho, striker Rasmus Højlund. This lineup reflects Amorim's intent to maximise attacking potential while maintaining defensive solidity. The inclusion of Ugarte alongside Eriksen offers a blend of physicality and creativity in midfield, while Garnacho and Fernandes will look to provide flair and vision in advanced areas. As United prepare for Sunday's challenge, fans will hope the team continues its upward trajectory under Amorim's guidance.